Hey, welcome to an update on the greatest role-playing game ever. I can say that with all sincerity because this week has been pretty awesome. Well, actually, we don't have anything to show for this week. But internally, just internally, inside me and inside the code, it's been pretty awesome. How about you, Nick?
Oh yeah, I've been enjoying your sweet fishing work this week.
Yeah, so last week we showed how NPCs can accompany you to do things, and we just used the random example of fishing. And you've been talking about fishing for a long time, like with me, right?
Yeah, I think fishing's cool. I don't know, a lot of games have it, and I always love it. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, but I love me some fishing.
So this is a great example of why it's important to get your foot in the door. Like if you can go and work as a tester at Activision or something like that, just get your foot in the door, be in the room, because for easily the last year, Nick has been talking about fishing, how he wants to go fishing in Archmage Rises, how great it would be to fish for things and, you know, get things and stuff. I don't know. Do you just miss WoW or something? Like what is going on there?
I like fishing in Zelda. What was it? Nintendo 64. That was pretty good. I just love the idea that the world is alive, right? And then you could do like every hex in the world is, interactive and has stories and things happening. And so I think fishing is just sort of one of those things that helps the world come alive.
Well, I was working on a variety of activities that the player and NPCs can do in a hex, and one of them is like stargazing, and fishing and riding, your animal, whatever, foraging for food, like just all kinds of stuff, right? But I started with fishing because that's the example we showed last week, and I was like, whatever, I'll just keep working on this code and stuff. And then I sort of accidentally created like a little fishing simulator built in Archmage Rises. I didn't intend to. I guess I would say I didn't want to build all this fishing functionality into the game, but the game made me do it. So there's now currently 23 species of fish that are in there, and then using the simulator system, they populate hexes, and over time they will grow and shrink in population around the ocean, and like it's just stupid how much work I put into this fishing stuff over the last week. There's different poles that you can get. NPCs have different skills, so if you find an NPC with a fishing skill, then he adds to your fishing skill, and the higher your skill allows you to find better fish. And then there's no theoretical limit to the weight of a fish that you can find. It's skill based and also by the species of the fish. And so you can just keep catching fish and try to get bigger and bigger weights. And we've been talking about putting in derbies and record holdings per town. And if we're gonna do that, then what if you hold the top fishing record in all the towns? That should be some kind of achievement. I had mentioned earlier today, like, well, if you do manage to do that, we should give you like a special spell or something, like some super unlock. So this whole fishing thing has really, really gotten ridiculous.
Well, I think it really scratches the itch of the role player who wants to have the beach bum fishing simulator.
Or the hobo simulator, just fishing to eat.
Exactly.
You can catch fish and you can sell them to market. We talked about using the fish to feed your pets in the zoo, using them as ingredients in things. It's ridiculous. I probably should have started on some other piece of functionality, and I would have had like way more things to do instead of just deep diving into fishing. Oh yeah, and then we talked about how you can use spells to enhance your fishing, like water breathing. So instead of fishing from the surface, you can fish from 30 feet down. I'm not really sure how that helps, but...
Yeah, what's fishing pole physics look like?
Yeah, what does that look like when you're pulling on the thing or something?
Just throw your bait and then run the other way, I guess.
Yeah, would you even use a pole, or you just like blast them with your hand underwater? That's a whole new kind of fishing. Anyway, so... unfortunately, that's what I've been working on. I pretty much consumed all my time since last week. But the good news is, while making all that fishing stuff, I created the systems that allow me to add other activities and have NPCs join you on them, and have the skill affect the results that you see, and like all that kind of stuff. It just happened to all be built around fishing for now. But
Right.
What have you been up to there, Nick?
I've been mostly working on UI stuff. So the relationship panel, which allows you to deep dive into family trees. Everybody you've met, everybody they know, their parents, their kids, their lovers. So just getting all that working. So we have, obviously a lot of characters in the game, and you're going to want to affect them in different ways. And so this is sort of the view into that data. So it's been pretty cool.
So I remember when I first designed up the screen and showed it to you, you were like, oh, crap. I had to build all this stuff. Do you remember that? I do.
I do remember that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you had this crap your pants moment, and you're like, oh, man, I got to, like, build all this. Look at all these little niggly controls and whatever I got to build up, right? Okay, so then you started working on it, right? You've been working on it, various aspects of the UI for the last number of weeks. And so today, you said you were working on it, and you had kind of an aha moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's all these people in towns, right? They're all living in different buildings. A lot of the families are living together. And I know that that's there. But when you can actually see it, it really seems like there's a lot of stuff going on. You can start to, I don't know, almost read the stories of these people. Even like weird stuff, like there'll be somebody who has some kids and there's no wife. Like, what's the story with that, right? Like, where is she? What's she done? So I just think it's interesting just being able to view all of that data that's been underneath for a while.
Yes! I told you it was worth it. Nick likes to throw up some resistance at first to say, come on, do we really need this?
Yeah. That's true.
That is a true statement. And I'm like, come on, no, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. So we're starting to see that. So that's exciting. So that's why we could say this really is the greatest role-playing game ever made, because it feels live. When you're navigating all the people, the relationships, how they interact, it's like, holy cow, this world really is alive, unlike any other role-playing game. So that's exciting. So explore relationships and fish yourself to death. That's what Archmage Rises will offer.
That's right.
Just fish, fish and fish.
Yeah, you need to find a good fishing buddy, right? You need to use the relationship tab to find the best fisherman in the town.
That's true.
and then befriend that person.
Yeah, that's true. Instead of being rivals. That's interesting. Okay, well, that's really all I have to say this week.
Okay,
then that's it, everybody. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.